My voice is gone, bro, but we're gonna do this anyway.
Enough of the code switching. Been hitting my soul, been on the ropes. I'm ready to grow, so get to know me. Keep your head up, I want you to grow.
Singing in the shower is all fun and games until you get shampoo in your mouth.
What?
Then it's a soap opera.
No contest. Wait, see it's gold on me. Search up, nigga. The world been dying, days is number, check the climate.
This list is some ass, bro.
You with Cardi B over Illmatic.
You put this over, not just that. You put this over Aquemini. You put this over rap music. You put this over All Eyes on Me.
Time and again that I'm really him. Oh, you ain't know. This not just for the show, but that you entertain anybody.
It kind of goes into my whole spiel about music and everything like that. The game related stuff.
Why'd you elongate music? This man said music.
Look, music is powerful.
Music. Why are you elongating? You don't.
Because it's music.
What are you, a cow? Wait.
It's music. It's not music.
I'm pretty sure there's only one you in.
Yes. You have to put emphasis on that you. Use it.
You're weird. You know, you're being weird right now, bro.
Yes, I am very weird.
Local neck.
Local
neck destroys Waterside District with a Hellcat.
Local Negro. In the words of Chisel the Don, it's local Negro. Right.
Local esophagus shuts it down for everyone. There's something in the water. Yeah, it's a Hellcat. Oh my god, bro. Oh, that's why Pharrell won't come back. Shut it down. We don't even have a stage anymore. He just came down here doing like 180. I don't know what happened. Oh my god. She agrees she really been here through the fall. She the only thing I need. I want to be free. I know that they want me for my ideas. So
Yo, what is going on? This is Unbounded once again. My voice is at a strong 35%, but I'm here. No, this is more like I get a good 70% right. The throat is not as bad as it was over the weekend, but I am here as usual. I'm yours as always, the truth. The king of Pop-Tarts himself. Mommy, I got my boy the outlier. So let me tell you about what day was it? She gave me that. Was it Sunday? So if you don't know, I am a scare actor at Busch Gardens doing Hollow Screen, and so they call me Pop Tarts. Well, I told them to call me Pop Tarts, and so one of the ones I worked with, she gave me a Pop Tart to try. And it was a maple syrup Pop-Tart. And it was actually pretty doggone good. It's not I don't think it's in my top 3 of Pop-Tarts, but it was actually a pretty impressive Pop-Tart.
So what are your top 3 Pop-Tarts?
S'mores. Number 1 is clearly going to be the doggone. What is that thing called? No pop. No, Lex. I want Pop-Tarts. Give me Pop-Tarts. Number 1 is clearly going to be brown sugar cinnamon.
Over s'mores?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a slight edge over s'mores, and then the Sunday is 3.
I don't know. Me? What's your other 2? You said s'mores and what else?
Number 1 is brown sugar cinnamon, and 3 is the chocolate sundae.
For me, it's s'mores number 1. Actually, chocolate chip cookie dough number 1. S'mores number 2. Chocolate chip 3. Speaking of baseball,
I'm about to block you, Jamie.
Speaking of baseball, Yankees are in the Yanks are one up in the ALDS over the Guardians.
That's what's up. How my Braves doing?
That's a good question.
I know we got a championship to defend.
Yes, y'all do. Y'all did win it last year. It's a rain delay right now. Y'all are playing the Phillies, and the Phillies are up 1-0 on you.
Y'all going it. One game to 0 or
1 game to 0. It's the best of 5. So first to three wins the series.
All right. We got to tighten up
there. While we're on the topic, Barcelona lost. Well, we didn't lose, but we tied 3-3 against Inter Milan today. So now we gotta hope that they gotta lose a game in order for us to stay alive in the Champions League, which is like the chances of that are like slim to none. So that's great. We're already like third in the table. I think Inter Milan and Bayern Munich have already qualified for the round of 16. But we still have a chance if Inter Milan loses a game against the team that everybody in the group has already beaten. So the chances of the team, well, like I said, the chances are not impossible. Crazier things have happened.
Anything can happen in sports, dog.
Yeah.
That's how I
look like Alabama being number 3.
Well, can you blame them for being number 3?
No, I can't. That's the thing.
Nearly lost again. This is
I was talking to a dude today.
Well, not 2 straight weeks, but 2 weeks this season where they have found themselves being lucky to come out on the winning end of things.
Yes. One was on the road at Texas. The other was at home against A&M. And the only reason they didn't win that game is because Jimbo Fisher did not make the right play call for that situation. Now, granted, I don't know exactly what you do in that situation. I know if you throw the football, you don't throw that particular pass like that.
Well, he's not the only one that made the wrong pass to potentially win the game this week. So
yeah, he's also Brian.
We'll get to that later on.
You said what?
We'll get to that guy later on because right now he's doing a good service for the Seahawks.
Oh, Geno Smith?
No, Russell Wilson.
Oh,
he's doing well, helping us out right now.
Well, there's that, and then he's also not getting called for roughing the passer calls.
What's new? The refs always find some way to be dumb.
I don't know.
Are we surprised here?
No, but it's just like what, like just not even why him, but it's like the things that have gotten me about that is not even because one was Tom Brady. It's because they were sacks. It wasn't like Tom Brady had thrown the football already and then he got hit. He got hit with the football in his hands.
Well, they've thrown quite a few roughing the passers even during sacks. That one was clearly not one that should have been thrown. But I think the issue does come in because I'm pretty sure somebody's going to come out and say maybe we should be challenging for roughing the passer penalties. And I'm like, that's not really a good idea if you think about what happened when they tried to do the reviewing of PIs a few years ago.
I don't know.
So at the end of the day, it just comes down to the fact that
what the heck? How is Texas on this list at 22 and unranked, or 23, but they have 2 losses?
Who?
There are 3 teams on this list that have 2 losses. Utah is at 4-2, Kentucky's at 4-2, and then Texas is at 4-2.
Well, if they lose this week, then they're clearly going to be knocked out of the list. But since you're looking at that list, look at 25.
Yeah, that was shocking.
Yeah. Shame you. I didn't realize they were in the FBS now.
Yeah.
Because I know they went 2 or 3 seasons straight with while winning the
FCS
championships.
One of them was against North Dakota State in a brawl.
Yeah, I think Justin was playing during that season. During those 2 seasons.
Speaking of which, I talked to Chauncey today. He said, "What's up?"
Well, we'll be seeing on Friday.
Yeah, we will. Are you going?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, that's right. We said carpool. Oh, that's right. We
just talked about that. Happy homecoming to Western Branch. Shout out to the graduated class of 2012. This is our 10th year being alumni of Western Branch High School. Also, happy homecoming to the greatest college, university, HBCU, you name it, the greatest college, Norfolk State University, the illustrious Norfolk State University. Behold the green and gold.
I wish I could go to that homecoming, but you know,
I'm there. And also shout out to my family. 2012, long live. Y'all know what's happening. We out here. It's gonna be great deal with my a lot of people that I hung around and haven't seen since I stopped marching. So it's gonna be a very, very fun week for me. Hopefully I get a better voice by the time all this stuff happens, because I sound a mess right now. I don't know if you can really tell, but Lord.
You do sound strange. Yeah, JMU at 25 is not a surprise. However, Georgia being nobody should complain about Georgia at 1.
No.
Nobody should complain about Georgia at 1. Nobody should really complain about OSU at 2.
I had no complaints.
Yeah, no. Although it's gonna be crazy this upcoming week, because we have a 10-5 matchup right away of Penn State and Michigan at 12 on Saturday. And then
you said Penn State's playing who this week?
Penn State's playing Michigan in the Big House in Ann Arbor.
Oh, that's gonna be fun. I won't be watching, but it'll be fun.
And then Alabama plays 6 Tennessee at 3:30 on CBS.
One of my coworkers is actually be at that game. I told her
in Knoxville. They're going to be in Knoxville.
I was talking to her. I was like, I hope Tennessee knocks them off.
And then Oklahoma. Then another top 25. Oklahoma State, TCU, 3:30 ABC.
Who said anything about Chauncey Billups?
No, because I said I talked to Chauncey.
No, not Chauncey Billups, Jamie.
Yeah, that's 3.
You say music with that voice. Music.
Anyway, that's 3 undefeated matchups at 12 and 3:30. Pretty sure I'm going to either watch. I don't know. Do I want to watch Bama, Tennessee, or Oklahoma State, TCU? I'm definitely watching Penn State. Well, I don't know. The funeral starts at 11.
What time is the Bama Tennessee game?
3:30.
I'll be already in Norfolk State chilling.
Dang, I will be at a funeral at 12.
3:30 is going to be somewhere around halftime, so probably.
So I'm trying to think if I want to be that guy at the funeral who's watching the football game.
I'm not going to tell you what not to do.
Fair enough. Speaking of what not to do, Tony Khan. You said he had something about Tony Khan.
Oh, so Ariel Helwani.
Transition into wrestling, by the way, for those who missed it.
Yeah. So Ariel Helwani was on his podcast, I believe it's called the MMA Hour.
Yeah.
And basically was saying that his most frustrating interview that he has had was just one of the most recent ones he's done with president of AEW, Tony Khan. Basically saying that he was very evasive with a lot of the questions that he asked. He specifically made a point about him asking about the brawl out at All Out, after All Out. I don't know if that's a actual term for that incident, but that's what I'm going with because it just sounds cool. What's happening? So I went and I wanted to see what it is. I did not listen to the entire thing. There is a video. In the video, there is somebody that actually took the time to basically timestamp all the important topics. So Ariel kind of tried to get him to talk about the brawl out situation, and he basically rushed it off, every single question, which if there is legal investigations going on with it, I understand. Outside of that, it does. And I know what you told me before we started, but I think the thing that really threw me off was that we talked about it so many times about how Tony Khan is very, very transparent with a lot of things that he does. And so for him to kind of turn into Travis Etienne and try to be juking everything was a little bit weird. And so he asked about Cody Rhodes, who, if you've been living under a rock, Cody Rhodes made his return to WWE at WrestleMania. And he asked him his reactions to that. And he also, again, evaded the question. And at that point, I was like, I understand the Punk situation. Not really understanding this one here. So I could see how it was a frustrating interview for Ariel, because for myself, it was very frustrating as well. No, you're not getting me with that. So I don't know. It was just weird because it did feel like, and I feel like I get this vibe every time I see him on somebody's podcast interviewing. It feels like he's more about plugging his show, which I completely understand. But then the hard questions, which I don't know, it just feels like a lot of times he doesn't get asked. And people try to bring up Triple H as if Triple H has not had to answer hard questions. Take you back to 2020, 2021, when the Velveteen Dream story came out and everything of that sort. Everybody was hounding him about why is Velveteen Dream not fired. So Triple H has been having to deal with hardball questions. And it just felt like he had that point where he got those hard questions and he's like, I don't want to talk about it. Which, granted, he doesn't have to, but it just felt weird.
I said that was because we really don't we don't take things into perspective a lot of times.
Yeah. Hold on. Before you finish, I kind of want to address this here. I feel like everybody has a bias. That's where I'm like, people saying, "Oh, he's biased." At the end of the day, who doesn't have a bias? I mean, for example, my bias has always leaned toward WWE, even though I will watch other shows. But a lot of my bias and my measurements do kind of come from what I've known. So I can see that. I don't really think it's an issue, but yeah.
Like in that regard, for me, it's like because you know me, I've enjoyed a lot of things. Like a lot of when it comes to wrestling, I enjoy a lot of variety. And so I think I have a bias towards more general stuff. You know, I will avidly defend something against it, you know, depending on like how, if somebody's take on it is unfair because they don't watch it. You know, it's like you don't watch it, so you can't, you know, not that I don't appreciate your take, your opinion's noted, but like GCW, for example. You don't watch GCW, I don't want to hear you think it's trash. Or Impact. You don't watch Impact, I don't want to hear that you think it's trash.
Yes.
You know, you can have that opinion that it's trash, but if you don't watch it, I'm going to take your opinion. Put it this way. You can have that take, but I'm going to take it less serious because I know you don't watch it.
Yeah. And I think that is a very fair point.
Yeah. But to notice about bias interviews, like I listen to Dan Le Batard. Dan Le Batard is known to have like a lot of liberal leanings, you know, in his conversations. So, like for example, like when Jorge Masvidal, as you know, he's Trump supports Trump. You know, I don't know if you know that.
Who?
Jorge Masvidal. he's
yeah, I can see that.
No, I'm saying because he's like I said, he's Cuban from Florida, and he was on the he came on the show one day, and he said that, and then they pulled him off to a side interview on South Beach Sessions. Him and Levitar talked a lot about it,
Yeah,
and they haven't had him on the show since. But like I can understand like why, but I can understand why they haven't because Dan, not because Dan doesn't listen, but it's more so because Dan has this set of principles about stuff. You know what I mean? And he's not going to go out to change. The thing I love about it, he's not going to go out to change minds. You can have that, but he at least wants to, as the expert journalist that he is, he wants to know, like, what is how did he get here kind of thing, which I enjoy. That's why I enjoy watching his interviews. But that's not to say he doesn't have a bias, because he does have a bias. He has a liberal bias.
Everybody does, and I've been listening to a lot more people from all forms of political thinking, and one of my favorite people to listen to, I know she has a conservative look at things, but at the same time, she's not going to basically anybody that has the same viewpoint as her, she's not going to side with them immediately. She's going to say, look, this is where I stand. I will call you out if you go against these principles, regardless of what walk of life you have. And I think that's why I respect Sonny so much.
Yeah. I would like to this is me putting out the call, because I really what's her name, Sonny Johnson?
Yeah.
I'd like to talk. I don't know if Anthony will put the word out, but I like to talk to you, because I'm trying to find myself. I find myself in the middle more so nowadays, because I can't one side I just can't understand I don't like the hypocrisy.
Here's my thing. I think, and that I know where you're going. I don't think it's a two-side issue. This is more like I was gonna say like a dice, like a die, but I think it's even deeper than that. Because I've been more on I've been reading and listening to more of that side. And even there, you have so many different ways of thinking. I'm gonna send you a video. It's about almost 2 hours long. It's
I know.
Conservative Summit.
Yeah, I don't. You're gonna have to give me clips instead of like long video. You got to remember, bro.
I haven't finished yet.
Here's what you got to remember about me, and I don't think I told you that, but I got ADHD, bro. I'm very neurodivergent. I can't sit down and watch.
I usually put it on when I'm driving. So
I would say the only thing I can listen to for 2 hours is a movie.
So basically,
like for 2 hours straight, I can only do that for a movie.
Yeah,
I can't do that for like a podcast. I can't sit and listen to a podcast for 2 hours, else I'm gonna go to sleep.
Yeah, but basically, what the entire thing was about was, and I guess this could be our transition into this conversation as well. But it was two topics that really where the discussion was built around. And
but before you finish, by the way, like I'm honestly serious. Put the word out to Sonny Johnson. I want to talk to him.
I'll try. So let me tell you who was on the panel first of all.
Okay.
You'll know at least two of the names.
Is it Killer Mike?
No, Killer Mike was up there. This was a black conservative conversation.
Was it Mage? Was Mage on there?
Who?
Mage?
Maj? No, Maj was not actually. Maj actually was not on this one.
Okay.
It was Sonny.
Okay.
Uncle Hotep.
Okay.
King
Randall?
Jeff Charles.
Okay.
And Whitlock.
Oh.
So all four of them, it was Hotep Jesus. It was his page, so he was the moderator of the whole thing.
Okay, so we do got it.
So the entire thing was on question one: what is cooning? And question
what?
Cooning.
Okay.
Or what is a coon? And then the second one was basically Kanye's stunt before the Twitter rant. So this was basically on what he and Candace did with the White Lives Matter shirt or hoodie, whichever one it was. I don't know. I could care less. And so I haven't got to that part. But here's my thing. I would not do that.
You would not what?
I personally would not have done what Kanye and Candace did. Now, granted, I wouldn't wear a BLM shirt either. So I'm kind of like right in the middle of it. It was like, I'm not wearing your shirt. I'm not wearing your shirt. But at the same time, I see everybody's up in arms about that situation and saying that, oh, this is a bad look for the Black community. And I'm like, but Coolio Fulio and Spot 'em Got 'em and K-Flop and Young Boy and Melly and You Get My Drift is not a problem. Which one is more detrimental to our community? Kanye and Candace Owens wearing a shirt that says White Lives Matter, or who all these other drill rappers and the ones down in Jacksonville that led to the situation that happened over the summer with what's the dude name? They got clapped. What was it back in August?
I cannot even remember.
But you know what I'm talking about. Which one's worse?
Obviously the latter.
The latter. I don't even think it's close.
It's really not.
And so I actually listened to a few because Tucker called clear, and that was like it would be Sucker. So Tucker Carlson actually has done looks like about 2 hours worth of content with Kanye. He's interviewed him and everything of that sort. So I've listened to a little bit of what he's had to say. He's kind of went into that whole conversation with that. He's talked about quite a bit with him. And so, did you know Kanye's dad was a Black Panther?
I did not.
Yeah, so I learned that. And so he said his dad texted him and was like, "You stating the obvious." And when you think about it, I guess it is pretty obvious. It has been that way since the beginning. This always mattered. More so than ours have. So at that point, I was like, this whole thing's much to do about nothing. Kanye is out here trying to, he has something up his sleeve. He's either trying to run for election, which he has already said he's going to run for president in 2024, or he has another album coming out. So at that point, I was like, Kanye's being Kanye again. So at that point, I brushed it off. Because we've been through this so many times with Kanye. The other thing that really opened my eyes when he was talking about how when he put the hat on, he talked about how there were people that were basically threatening his life, all because he wore the hat. Yeah, people said they were going to green light him or something like that, which I guess he alluded saying that they were going to jump him. And I'm like, we really are being our worst enemy here. What good does it do to basically threaten somebody's life because they may not agree with you politically? Especially still a Black man.
I was going to say that's another question you could ask somebody else who just lost almost $1 billion, but it's not on the same level. But
who was that?
Alex Jones. The verdict came. He has to pay almost $1 billion to all those families for what he said. Now, granted, I know that's not on the same level. But his comments did have and actions did have people going after these families.
Yeah.
And an FBI agent. So there's a correlation. So I brought that up. But
I think the one that the political issue where it came to the politicians really getting involved was he made some very insensitive comments on Twitter that were anti-Semitic.
Yes.
And I do not endorse anything he said on that tweet.
No.
But here's my thing. It's very rich that the same people that were willing to attack him and I think it was a representative that basically said something ridiculous also, saying that the same people that want reparations are criminals or something along that line.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. Hold on.
I just saw it like now before we started.
Hold on. I know who you're talking about. Yeah. Tommy Tuberville.
Yep, that's him. And so they're attacking these people saying this is the GOP, they're racist, they're
pro-crime, and Democrats are pro-crime. Darn it. Hold on. They're pro-crime and support reparations for blacks whose ancestors were enslaved because those who do the crime are owed. Which is
BS. He ended up saying it was BS.
They think the people that do the crime are owed that. They're not soft on crime. They're pro-crime. They want crime. They want crime because they want to take over what you got. They want to control what you have. They want reparation because they think that the people who do the crime.
Here's the issue. A lot of people that I know that are pro reparations aren't Democrats. One of the loudest people that are pro reparations?
Who's that?
Tariq. I can 100% tell you he's not a Democrat. He has been one of the ones that I think have been really anti-Biden more so than anybody else. Another one that I follow, who I just found out she's cousin with Kaden Carter, Therese Lane. She's pro reparations, but she's a conservative. And so this is where my issue comes with them. It was like, you do realize a lot of these people aren't Democrats. So you're attacking them while the same people that are screaming that we want reparations are also attacking them. They're not playing the game. But back to the other side. It's very rich that they're attacking these people for clearly what they're saying is wrong. But where were they at when Nuri Martinez was saying F him, he's for the blacks?
F what?
Did you not hear about Nuri Martinez and it was a city council in California, looks like LA, that were trying to basically redistribute what is it? I got it right here. She called the black child of Los Angeles City Councilman Mike Bonin Changuito or a monkey who gets carried around like a purse.
Yeah, I heard that, but also saw his like response to that. It was a very emotional response where he said like he doesn't want their forgiveness, like because he's not the one who needs he's not the one who can give them that forgiveness.
Right. And my whole thing is the same way you're calling out all these racist remarks from the GOP, you got to have that same energy for the people that's in your party.
No, yeah, like I don't know for sure. I don't think we're
he's saying.
I don't think it's been an issue, but it's oh God, I don't know what to do.
As someone who doesn't identify with either party, it doesn't look good on anybody.
If you say something, whatever it is, and it's fucked up, you need to be held accountable for it. However, we live in a time and place where if you have enough money, you can say whatever you want. And if you so for me, I had to. This is why I had to ask you, because I had to ask you, did you delete Kanye from your playlist?
No.
And you said no. And you quoted, I haven't. That's what you said. Because I'm at a point where it's like I don't want, and I did this a lot during the pandemic with speaking out. I wanted to distance myself from anybody who got caught up in anything weird, anything crazy, so to speak, until I did my own research.
With Kanye's song like that in a
Huh?
while, but it
No,
hasn't got to a point where I was like, yeah, I can't. He hasn't put on
it's
Lamar status yet.
Yes, it had it, like that is not the case. Now, I did say, I was honest when I said it on here. I did eliminate him from my playlist, save for a few songs. In Kendrick's case, a few. It's only 3, and then 2 of them he's actually features.
Yeah,
but
I haven't even listened to a feature.
Neither have I. I did only listen to Family Ties on Sunday to get myself in the right mindset to watch the Cowboys games. Don't ask me why I do that. I'm a sports fan. It's what I do. That's what I do. I'm crazy. But
so can I explain why I said no?
No. Well, actually, do you mind if I go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, because we both said the same thing. We both said no. Like, I asked you this. The reason why I asked you first, because I feel like you're more in depth with it than me. Because I'm more on the surface of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna weigh with it first. Like for me, it was gonna be like Toby. Like I'm gonna think about it. Like when you told me about Toby and Weeway. But I did it. I thought about it. I looked it up myself, and then made my own decisions about it.
Yeah.
And then I made the decision to not delete him. Well, I did, but then I brought him back. I made that conscious decision.
Understood.
And then, so in Kanye's case, and this is what I think you might say something similar, but I'm not sure. I have learned to separate art from artist. This is just me. I don't know how you feel about it. Like for me, Kanye's music it's up there. Like some of production wise, stylistic wise, it's some of the greatest stuff I've ever heard.
I told the kids that a lot of the music I listen to now is because of the way Kanye said things.
Yes. He set it in a precedent. He set a precedent for creating music. Not even he set a precedent for making it. Not necessarily doing it. Not necessarily lyricism or for not even as like I said, well, not necessarily for lyricism or for message wise. It is for production alone. And how he goes into making it. It's why it's such an admiration for it. Like I was telling somebody else, I could just watch, if there was a documentary of how Kanye made each of his albums, I will listen to it. I will watch it.
I'm going to say this, and I think scientifically, psychologically, I think it can be proven. He's a genius.
Yes. No, that 3-part documentary was not an ego trip. That was everybody's chance to say, hey, this is what's going on. This is how we got here, and this is why he is the way he is. And the main reason I think we overlook that some people don't really want to think about, and we haven't thought about it since the documentary dropped, which was phenomenal, is the fact that, and I know this is, if we really didn't take this into account, when his mother died, he didn't stop. He did not stop.
They usually don't.
He kept going, which we are living in the timeline in which he kept going. There's probably another timeline that Doctor Strange knows about where he did look, where the same, everything happened the same, like up to that point, the exact same, only he did stop and take a moment and take a break. But he didn't. And this is where we're at now. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Granted, he could have stopped and still we still have the same things we have today. Maybe. We don't know. But I know that, and I know that type of genius, I know it's not, yeah, he has the ego. Yeah, I was just listening to Bill Burr say it. Bill Burr, the comedian, said, if you took, like he said, Kanye's one, and I think Antonio Brown said this too, one of his biggest regrets, Kanye's biggest regrets is that he can't watch himself perform.
Oh, he
I think Antonio Brown said the same thing.
He said the same exact thing.
Yeah, the only regret, his biggest regret, is that he won't get to watch himself play. You know? And then Bill Burr said, like, imagine putting.
Now I'm thinking about it.
He said, Bill Burr said, imagine putting that type of ego inside of a white guy, and it'll sound like. And he basically said it'll sound like a dictator, like Hitler, for example. Maybe not exactly Hitler, but it'll sound come off a little authoritarian, like dictator-wise.
I don't know. I kind of understand it because you are experiencing it firsthand, but take away all of AB's antics.
Yeah.
Look at those. What was it, about 5-6 years where he was just straight dominant?
Yeah.
There is a different atmosphere to it. Be in it yourself and be the one doing it. But at the same time, being able to witness it is also a very different experience as well.
Yes.
Just being the third person in a situation. So I guess you can kind of look at it that way and say, yes, the first being that person is, and I guess it's because we're looking at it from a third person view, and there's what the disconnect is. We're saying we're watching you do it, so it should be enough to be that person, while they're saying, yeah, that's cool and all, but to be able to sit there and watch it happen for myself would be cool too.
Yeah. But I can't. That's why I can't do it. I can't eliminate him solely for the fact that I've separated art from artist. The only thing I agree with him outside of his art about is that I can understand the perspective of him saying somebody said they could do something and they went out and did it. In terms of like Donald Trump running for president. Yeah. I can understand that idea. Now that is an extreme idea and it kind of fucked us as a country. But I could, like, I mean, granted, we can argue all day about if we were fucked before Trump or not. We can argue about that all day. But like, I can understand when he said that. Like, I got it. That's the only thing I understand. Not him supporting Donald Trump. Him saying he likes the idea of somebody saying you went out and did something. Like, yeah, he did, because he did it. He said, I'm going to be the greatest. Or it's kind of like Ali. Like, Ali said, I was the greatest. I'm the greatest.
His reason
boxer of all time. And he went out and showed it. You know?
That reason is the same reason why hip hop has loved the guy up until 2016.
Yes. But even still, they still hold him in high regard because people are still doing features with him.
No, well, I was speaking of 45 when I said that, because you look at look at the hip hop scene back then. He was a hip hop icon, if you really want to be honest. Nelly used his name in the song.
YG made a whole song about him too.
No, that was the negative song.
And
I was
still,
talking about more positivity.
oh,
Ray Sherman made a song, named the song after him.
Mac Miller wasn't a fan. Mac Miller was not a fan.
For the longest time, he was a hip hop icon, and so him saying that, I understand it, knowing that that's how hip hop looked at him for so long. Now, for my reasons why I'm not, I guess you could say, canceling him.
I wouldn't call it cancel. I'm not calling it cancel.
I would say a personal cancel.
Because I can't, like I said, I'm not canceling them because it's just.
Yeah. So my thing is this, and I basically said it a few minutes ago when it came down to, you see all these other artists who are basically celebrating the bad side of the culture. I named you the Young Boys, the K-Flocks, and the Spot 'em, Got 'em, Julio Fulio, and all these other rappers who are celebrating this dark side of our culture. Why is it, and I'm going to bring this up, a certain community had a man, and you probably know where I'm going with this, that had a Netflix show about him. They put it in their content and they said, no, we want no parts of this man. And it got taken down. But we have to sit here and let hip hop be celebrating the unaliving of our black men when our black lives should matter to us.
Are you talking about how they took down Killer Mike's stuff?
No, it's not Dharma.
No, before that. Like what they took down.
Huh?
You talking about how they took down Killer Mike's thing?
No, somehow Dahmer was putting the LGBTQ.
No, I know that. Wait, hang on. Run the whole thing back. You said they took down somebody's platform on.
Yeah, they took. So basically, what I'm saying is the LGBTQ community had Dahmer taken out of the LGBTQ section on Netflix,
as it should have been, because it was.
So why can't we do that to hip hop that is celebrating the horrible side of our culture?
Oh, okay. I see your point. I see the point you're making. Sorry, I couldn't find the correlation.
Because I saw the people saying that you got to take the good with the bad, but at the same time they said no, we want no parts of that. Why can't we distance ourselves from something that has been a detriment?
Oh, really?
To our people for years and years, and it's not like I don't want to hear the excuse of we are in this situation and we can't get out of it. You are mentally enslaved and you're choosing to be mentally enslaved, and that's what Kanye was talking about. He was not talking about your ancestors. He said, when you think about 400 years as a slave, 400 years from that time period is around this time period now. That sounds like a choice. We are mentally enslaved right now. We're choosing to do it. Call me what you want. I don't care.
Here, I watched the one here. So two things. First, if you watched Dahmer and you can't stop talking about Dahmer, you need help.
I haven't even watched it yet.
I know. Don't know.
But I should.
Look at me. Don't watch that shit.
Okay.
Don't watch that shit. I'm not watching it because I read about it. I read about him. I know what it's all about. I don't need that negativity and that kind of energy in my life. I don't. I have better things to do.
The same way you are with like podcasts and things like that, you can't watch stuff. That's me with TV. I can't sit down and watch a bunch of TV for so long.
Well, no, it's not even that. Like me, I don't even watch as much TV now. I'm like sporadic. I'm not binging stuff as much as I used to. I'm binging stuff, like, you know what I mean? I have a show that I watch, but I'm not sitting down. I'm not sitting down and trying to burn through as many episodes as possible like I used to. I think it's actually good. Anyway, like I find myself adding a lot of shows that release one episode a week, which is good. Anyway, before I even get to my second point, Yeah, for real. If you watch Dahmer and you keep talking about it and you want to, for some reason, sexualize this dude because of whatever sick reasons, like y'all did Zach Efron when he played Ted Bundy, y'all need your head examined. Y'all need help. You need therapy.
Yeah.
All right.
There's a
Because,
lot of sickness in those people.
yeah.
And
Because
unpacked.
now, like I said, LGBT, LGBT, pride community aside. Sorry, tongue twister. Pride community aside. That aside. He's a serial killer.
Yeah.
Forget who he was, not forget who he was killing, but like he was a literal serial killer, okay? In all the worst ways. Now, the fact that we want to somehow sympathize for him, y'all can sympathize for him on your own time.
I want no parts.
Because I want no part of it. Okay. I don't care what he looks like. I don't care. Anyway, now, second thing, I saw Woman King on Monday with my father. If you haven't seen Woman King, go see it. For those who said boycott Woman King, I don't care. You're missing out on a good movie. I don't care. Woman King, there's a line in that movie that makes so much sense. They said in the movie, it says, if you want to enslave people, I might be paraphrasing, but if you want to enslave people, you have to convince them that they need to be enslaved. You have to give them, and the thing is, this kind of sad part is, for some of us, we're providing these reasons, not even without even words, with our actions, because we're showing clearly we don't have the I want to say energy, the accountability. We're showing we don't have the accountability to really break from that mindset. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're finding ourselves more susceptible to the same cycle that we've been in for decades. So I don't know. That's just what I think. I don't know. I just find it very interesting that we can't get this.
But that's my issue with a lot of it. Is just we saw the headline and everybody saying he said slavery was a choice. Slavery is a choice. What's a choice?
Yeah.
Instead of looking at the context of it and then really looking into what was actually said and saying, oh shoot, he's talking about us.
Yes.
He was talking about us, not our ancestors.
Yeah.
And so that was my whole thing. And it's like people have separated the artist from the art for so long when it's come to this subgenre of hip hop that is glorified this lifestyle. And it's like, okay, so we can basically excuse all these things and still bump the music. Shoot, people are still bumping R. Kelly. Why was it that we went a month or some change with leg shaking being a trending dance on TikTok? But Kanye is where we draw the line. I'm not getting the math here. And like I said before, it's Kanye is not the worst thing to happen to the black community.
No.
Not even by a country mile.
No.
We have so many worse people that are
Way
doing worse for our communities, and we're not giving them nearly the same amount of energy that we're giving to a guy that says things
that makes sense. That if you really think about what he's saying, like I think he speaks, like you said, Kanye. I'm with you when you said Kanye is a genius. He definitely speaks to where you can't be. I think the problem with us is that the community is, and I don't care if I catch heat for this. I think some of the people in our community are too thick to get it.
Yeah.
I think some of the people in our community are too thick to get what people say.
And I know a lot of people don't,
and not just Kanye, but like.
But I would call everybody to at least give that interview with Tucker a listen, and just sit there and just listen to what's being said. Yeah, there might be some times where he says things are like, what? But he drops a lot of gems in there. And this is a guy that has been in and around the elites, if you would,
for a long time.
His ex-wife is been in Hollywood. He's been around people in Hollywood. He's around billionaires. He knows things that we don't. And when somebody that's been around and he's starting to say things, and it feels like people are trying to silence him, I start getting suspicious.
Because maybe he's making sense.
Maybe he's trying to say something that doesn't want to be let out, and I'm like, okay, I may not believe everything you say, but I'm going to at least listen.
Yeah.
But that's all I got on Kanye. Let's get some football before I get up out of here. Shout out to Russell Wilson. Shout out to Russell Wilson.
Yeah, go ahead. Get on your pedestal, bro.
Shout out to Russell Wilson. So, Geno Smith's playing better than Russell Wilson. Who would have thunk it?
Doesn't he have like the best QB rating in the league right now?
Geno Smith has the best QB, has the best passer rating in the league. Wow. I don't know about QB rating because QB rating is different. I think that's ran by Pro Football Focus. And I think that's on the scale from 0 to 100. But he has the best QBR.
That's good.
I saw a picture where he has more he's thrown more touchdowns than Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and I think Jay Herbo as well. Wilson.
Let's just face it that Tom Brady's they're not going anywhere this season.
I think they are a playoff team, and that's about it.
Yeah, they're not going to the Super Bowl. I'm not even saying that out of bias. It's like, and I'm not saying this out of bias. Like, I think he should have stayed retired because he is not looking.
I think this is his retirement tour.
Like I said, I'm not saying this out of bias. We all know I'm not a fan of Tom Brady, but I honestly I don't think it was a good idea for him to come back because his play is showing that his age is showing.
Oh yeah, it happens to every quarterback. It just felt like it took forever to happen this time.
Yeah, and it's like now that it's happened, now you see the remnants of it, and the fact that it's happening in the way it is, and the rest of his life is falling apart in the way it is, in a sense, because you know how Giselle filed for divorce.
Yeah. And I think that definitely could be something that is weighing on Tom.
Right. Now, like I said, but that's saying, like, I'm not saying, this is consequences of actions and kind of thing. I was saying he should have stayed retired because it's like, dude, you're 45, and if you take a hit wrong, especially with the way QBs are taking hits nowadays, You take a hit wrong, it's not going to be good. Now, granted, he hasn't, thankfully, but there's still a lot of season play. And this is not me jinxing him. It's not. I'm just saying, like, it's happened. Miami's down 2 quarterbacks.
Dang, they are. They got some dude I ain't never heard of starting.
Exactly. They're down 2 quarterbacks due to concussions. Honestly, I don't know what it will be, but I know that
went a few drives without having a quarterback. Saquon was playing quarterback for a few plays.
Right. There's like a lot going on. There's a lot going on, and I don't think it's good for him that he's in there. That's just my opinion. You know what I mean? I don't think it's good that he
doesn't do anything to. I don't want him to go out like Dan Marino.
No.
That would be one of the worst things that happened for a guy. Yes, Peyton went out. The way Peyton went out was
put it this way. Now, while in context, this is like a brave thing to do, but you don't at this point, especially with all the technology we have, quarterbacks or football players, athletes should not be going out in their shield. You know what I mean when I say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they should not be going out of their shield. They should be going out.
I don't think he can go out any better than what he could have went out if he would have stayed retired.
Right. That was it. He had 7 of the things.
You had to come back drive, but Cooper Kupp just became Cooper Kupp. So it's not really I don't think it's an indictment on you as a quarterback, as a player. It just happens that way.
Right. That drive was amazing, though. That play was – I watched that thing live, and I couldn't believe it. Anyway, Cooper Rush is it's still rush hour.
Cooper Rush is doing Cooper Rush things, and it's looking like he has a really good chance to fight for a starting spot if next season.
Well, here's how somebody I work with put it into perspective. He's not overly phenomenal, but he's playing it safe.
You can win with him.
Yes. Which is what you want.
And you can win with a bowler. You can win.
You want a quarterback. I think no NFL quarterback needs to be super amazing. Some just are.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you need quarterback. You need a guy who you can win with, and we can win with Cooper Rush.
I think I think somebody like the Giants can win with him.
You said what?
I think like a team like the Giants could win with them.
They're winning with Daniel Jones. I mean,
finding his strength again. The defense is playing really good. A guy like Cooper Rush can fit in there. He's not going to throw you out of the game.
Oh, no.
Cooper Rush has been very well. He hasn't thrown a pick yet, has he?
No. He has thrown some picks, but they've been called back. So, no.
No, there's no interceptions on his
Also, sack-wise, it hasn't been a lot of sacks either, which shows how good our line is.
Yeah. The line has improved massively.
Which is one thing you need. You need a quarterback. You want a quarterback. Especially you have a backup quarterback, you want your line to be good.
Yeah, and I'll say that, I think if we had a good defense, we could win some games with Geno, especially the way Geno's been playing. Honestly, if our defense was good, I would be surprised if he was in a dark horse for the MVP race. And I don't think I'm reaching for that. I think he's just been that good to where I think that people could look at him and say, he has a shot at the MVP race.
Maybe if he can keep it up. If he can keep it up.
Yeah, and I think that is the thing. Can he keep it up? We haven't seen him this is probably the most consistent play we've seen from Geno. And I think it's going to be very interesting because Rashad Penny is now officially out for the season.
Who's your backup?
Ken Walker, who actually broke a 69-yard touchdown run that actually put us in the lead all for like 2 minutes until Taysom Hill ran another big touchdown on us.
I keep telling y'all Taysom
Yes,
Hill is good. There's a reason why I had Taysom Hill on fantasy one year. It actually did me some good.
Whoever had Taysom Hill this last week on fantasy got some good points.
He did me some good. Taysom Hill is good.
Travis Kelce got me some good points this week as well.
Yeah, Taysom Hill is good stuff.
Oh yeah,
I like watching Taysom Hill. I don't know why. Something about players doing things they're not. Something about players in positions doing things they're not supposed to do is just kind of cool. Yeah. Like he's a drafted quarterback, but he can be a tight end or a kick returner or all that stuff. It's pretty cool.
Interesting. They had Luchasaurus beat Jungle Boy.
I know they had a good one. I thought it was pretty good how long they were going. So.
What?
So yeah. Rush Hour is going.
Why is this news?
What is news?
Jamie Foxx was evidently denied entry at Cardi B's birthday party.
Who cares?
Guessed.
Who cares? Why are we still talking about her?
The most non-news news I've ever seen, bro.
Why are we still talking about her? I'm so serious. By the way, call me old. I really don't care. Who is Glorilla? I have no idea who this is. I saw the name. I don't know who this is.
Glorilla.
Okay, so you don't know either. Can you put the word out on your TikTok? Because I don't know who that is. I don't know what music. Is she music? Is she...
By looking at her, she looks like... I can about tell you her content is probably the mainstream.
So like Meg the Stallion, so she's like Cardi B, Ice Spice, and all that.
Let me see.
Cheese. His name is Cheese.
No, I'm not gonna play her music up here because I don't want to copyright strike. Let's go to her discography. That'll tell you everything we need to know. Coming November 11, 2022. Anyways, life's great. Oh, that's her. She's the one that made the FNF song.
The what?
FREE. Let's go. You've heard the song before, Isaac. Don't play me like that.
On TikTok?
That song, yes. I told you that's all you need to know. She's basically in that category.
Oh. All right.
Tony, who's Glorilla? Who? Glorilla.
The one that made the
FNF song, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all. So she's basically like Cardi B, City Girls, and whatnot.
I don't know. I don't pay attention to that.
What did you say?
I don't know. I'm paying attention to that.
All right.
Back to football.
Huh.
I'll tell you what, I don't see myself listening to her anytime soon.
No. I was just curious because I saw her. She won an award for something, and I was very confused.
Oh, this is gonna be all right. Let's talk next week. Cardinals, Seahawks. I got the Seahawks winning. No, I don't. I'm lying. I got the Cardinals winning.
You said who's it? Broncos and Seahawks?
Cardinals, Seahawks.
Cards.
Washington versus the Bears.
Washington. The Bears are bad. The Bears are bad.
So are the I almost said the old name. The redacted football Commanders. Whatever you want to call them, boys. They suck. This might be just as bad as last Thursday's game, even though they got Marshawn doing some stuff Thursday.
Oh, he's out of jail?
He was in jail.
Marshawn Lynch, right?
Oh, for DUI, you know they got a jail quick.
Oh, right. I forgot.
They don't stay in jail for no simple DUI.
All right.
Plus, he got money. But yeah, that's going to be a horrible game. 49ers Falcons, give me the Niners.
Niners. The Niners are on fire. I like the Niners being good.
I just wish the Seahawks were good because when the Seahawks and the Niners are good, then you get some real good football. Bengals Saints, give me the Bengals.
Yeah, unless Taysom Hill balls out like he did last week.
J-Bo playing is the question. Buccaneers Steelers, give me the Bucks.
Bucks.
The Steelers look pretty bad right now, especially no TJ. It's going to be interesting to see how much if we get some improvement on Kenny Pickett. I mean, outside of the pick, he didn't look too bad though.
Actually, can we talk about one other thing that I'm saying? No, it's still football related, but we're going to talk about it after we get through the picks.
Okay. Jags Colts.
I hope this is the segment where Anthony Ogogo kills QT Marshall. It's not, but because I don't see him out there, but I think he's in the UK actually. No, he is in the UK. Anyway,
who is this, a debut or something?
Anyway,
I'm gonna go.
Give me the Colts.
Oh, it's Wardlow. Never mind. Who you got?
Colts.
Okay. Jets, Packers, give me Packers.
Yeah.
It would be funny.
The Jets aren't too far off.
The Jets are coming along pretty well.
Yeah.
Breed, they got a good two-headed monster back there in the running game.
They also have a Hunter throwing at quarterback.
That MF, as Chisholm Donner says, isn't half bad. Patriots, Browns, give me the Browns.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Browns.
Yeah.
Giants and the Ravens. Don't blink, but the Giants are 4-1.
Action Jackson, still Action Jackson.
Action Jackson's Action Jackson, but that defense is suspect, which is why they are 3-2.
I like Nick Camarado without the heavy beard. He looks better.
Who?
It's giving buff Bobby Roode.
Oh, you talking about Camarado?
Yeah, it's giving buff, a more buff Robert Roode.
Like a bigger version of Boogs.
Yeah, I'd say Boogs or Robert Roode from TNA before he became Bobby Roode.
I'm gonna go with a more meaty Boogs.
Actually, no. I'll concede he is like just a beefier Boogs.
Vikings Dolphins. Give me
I'm going Vikings sheerly because I don't know who the Dolphins have at quarterback.
Yeah, I don't see Tua being ready for another few weeks. Give it to Thinking Wikis.
Yeah.
Panthers Rams.
Rams. The Panthers haven't convinced me that they're good.
Especially with Matt Rule.
Baker Mayfield serving up apple turnovers. So
I think he'll be fine eventually, but right now he's not looking pretty good. Bills Chiefs. This is gonna be a very fun game. If you don't remember what happened last time these two teams met up, let's just say 13 seconds. Was it 13 seconds?
let's just say gunfight, firefight.
Oh yeah, this is going to be an absolute. If you thought the Seahawks have been in some shootouts the last 2 weeks, I feel like this is going to be a shootout of all shootouts.
It will be.
Give me the Bills
Ooh, where are they playing?
in Kansas City.
Something about the home field advantage.
What say that to Buffalo? Didn't Buffalo have home field advantage?
No, they were no, yeah, no, you're right. I'm saying the no, because I really want the Bills to get one. I'm saying the Bills in a close one.
I want the Bills to win this one. I think this could be the Peyton Manning, Tom Brady rivalry.
And I love it. I'll take shootouts like this from Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes all day.
Yeah.
All day.
On to Sunday night. This is probably the second game of the second most anticipated game of the week.
I'm scared.
I'm
going with my boys, but like
can the Cowboys be the team that says nope, you're not undefeated? This is the last undefeated team in the league.
If our defense,
I'm going to go ahead and say the Cowboys win this one.
If our defense can play the way it's been playing and stay consistent, and if we can contain Jalen Hurts, because we all know he loves to run when he can.
Yeah.
If we can contain him, we're going to be good.
Now,
but Cooper Rush
is
going to need to take some chances.
Yeah. I think that we're probably going to be looking at a 3-way tie in that division where the Cowboys
is this a
tiebreaker.
Who's this?
Brian Cage.
Oh, Cage.
What's the purpose?
I don't know. I miss a go-go. Well, he's in the UK. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I'm going with the boys.
Broncos and Chargers. The Broncos are in another primetime game. Go figure.
Chargers.
Give me Chargers. And I'm going for the Chargers. Why? Because it's helping the Seahawks.
Yeah.
So
when do you want to do end of the year stuff? Like matches of the year, albums of the year?
December.
Huh?
Probably the last 2 weeks of December we'll do 1 week we'll do music. The next week we'll do wrestling.
All right, because I already got my 10 albums of the year. And
I know because it's 2 albums that are getting ready to come out. One's coming out Friday, and the other's coming out the 28th. I gotta wait for those.
One of them, the Liz 2 is actually coming out.
And just let you know, my list is not going to be completely hip hop. I got some R&B on my list. And for those who do not know what I was talking about, the album that's coming out this week, my girl Michaela Janae's dropping an album this Friday called The Missing Piece.
Piece? Oh, 21st. It's coming out next week. Is that basketball? Man, football just started. I don't want to hear no basketball.
Oh, you don't want to talk about Draymond Green?
No, I don't care. For all I know, that didn't happen. All right? Okay.
I saw the video.
I know. I watched it because Shilza Dodonis did a commentary on it. I don't care. No, it's football season. We're sticking to football.
Well, speaking of football, what's your thoughts on Deion Sanders and the Alabama State coach?
That is what I wanted to get to you about. Okay. So
before we get to the intricacies, I love it because what is going on right now, we're talking about HBCU football, and
right.
I'm all here for it.
Right. Absolutely. I'm with you there 100%. Now, also with that, the thing about it is if you're so Oh, Sean Spears is back, and he's bald. Nope,
Nope, he still
no,
has
he's
a
not.
horrible mohawk, but
But he has perfect 10 in this thing.
So he's finally doing the thing that got him over.
Is he a face now?
Right. Well, I guess the pinnacle is still a thing. Sans MJF.
I guess so.
That's really the big connection between everybody in there except for Joe.
I don't know.
Joe has a connection with the
You know
other.
what? I'm gonna take. I've always liked that, like the maple leaf with the skull on it. I've always thought that logo is pretty cool.
It is.
Also, I've always liked the belt Jericho has. I just love the simplicity of it. I hate the fact that he has it, but always thought it looked
It
good.
is better than in New Japan's TV television championship. I tell you
Dog, can we that look? Look.
that show was bad.
Look. Y'all can do better. Like,
better.
Yes. Like, I thought Okada saying when he wins the G1, he doesn't want to carry a case. He wants to carry the old belt. Which I was like, when you win it, that needs to be the belt again, or at least change the design. But then I thought Kota Ibushi designed it, or Kota Ibushi was the first to have it, so I can't really hate it. I just prefer like circular titles or titles like that. Anyway, okay, so about that situation, I thought that it was why would you say he ain't swag though? Before we even get to that, from all the videos that I saw, and I saw a lot of videos, the players into the game, he said, I'm looking forward to Homecoming. That's what he said, right? He's looking forward to playing them. You get to the game, and Alabama State's talking all sideways to him, doing his thing that he does, which apparently he comes out there and walks around the field.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know. That's what he does. So I'm like, okay, cool. A little bit of tradition, what he does. That's what he always does. So while he's doing that, he's got players saying, F Jackson, F you, F you to him, to primetime, all that stuff.
Well,
and then,
baby.
And then
Bama State, I got something to tell you, boy. This just ain't Bama State. That's the swag.
Yeah. And then he comes out. Hang on. Let me hear what he has to say. Okay. Okay.
Who's off the Matthews?
There's a lot of there was a lot of things that went over my head. They were good. His bars are good, but there's, I think because they're in Canada, I'm not sure. A lot of stuff went over my head. Anyway,
yeah, definitely Canadian stuff. I ain't with it.
Then during like the towing calls, like one of the Alabama State players called the water girl out her name, which she wasn't having that at all. I don't know if you see that.
I said at that point, Bama State went too far.
Yeah.
But
then they played
the prom. He can handle.
Then they trolled him. They put the score because apparently Alabama State was the first team to beat Jackson State.
Yeah.
Right. So they trolled him and they had the picture of him with the Jerry curl on there. And then they proceeded to get beat. I'm not sure what the score was. Give me a second.
Yeah, Jackson State won again this time. Bama State was the first team to beat them. And that was during that spring season that they had.
Right. Because of COVID, right?
Yeah. So it's like, did it count? Really? Not necessarily, because it's like
they won by 2 touchdowns, 26-12.
Right. And so if you really want to be honest, in the season that really mattered, I think the only HBCU teams to beat Jackson State during Deion's era,
South Carolina State.
South Carolina State. And they whooped them boys.
They did. It was not good.
That was not pretty at all. So,
but for that to go down the way it did, and then for him to react at the end, at the handshake the way it did, I'm like, you.
At that point, he was soft.
Yeah, no, yeah, because you can't. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if he told his players to come into that game and give them hell from pre-game to post-game. I don't know what he said. I don't know what Eddie Robinson said. I don't know. So I can't really blame him for what his players said during all that. I can't. But for you to act that way at the end, right? And then say, hey, you're not he ain't sweat. In a time where the one thing we're trying to do is to unify under a game that we all love, right? In a time where there needs to be more unity than division, and you just want to add more division to it, that's not a good look.
Yeah. It's not, but at the same time it is.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good look, but it's not a good look because because what's the point? How good does that look?
I guess from my perspective, it's more of a controversy creates cash situation, because it doesn't look good when it comes down to Eddie Robinson.
No.
But when you look at it from a look of people are now talking about HBCU football, in which, let's just be honest, when was the last time people talked about HBCU football?
It's been a while.
And that's the crazy part, because you got so many great players that have come from the MEAC and SWAC. And even I think there are some that are in the league now that come from like the CIAA.
Yes.
From V-State in the league. So you got so many great talents. You've had people like Antoine Bethea. You got what's his name over in Indy, the linebacker, Darius Leonard from South Carolina State. We had Tariq Cohen, which I'm pretty sure he's probably going to end up retiring now because of all the horrible injuries that's happened to him. I think probably the greatest running back to ever play in the NFL is from Jackson.
Sean Alexander?
No, he went to Bama.
Oh. Yeah.
I'm talking about sweetness.
Oh, yeah, Walter Payton.
Walter Payton.
I'm sorry I did that to Walter.
Walter Payton from Jackson State. You have so many great. Shannon. He's from Savannah State. Probably, I think Shannon Sharp is the guy that probably revolutionized the way tight end is played.
Yes.
He's one of the pioneers of what we see in the modern tight end.
Yep.
Without Shannon Sharp, there is no Travis Kelce.
Or Antonio Gonzalez. Or Tony
Antonio
Gonzalez.
Gates.
Tony Gonzalez.
All these other
Jason Witten.
That
George Kittle.
Become
Dallas Clark.
Straight receivers. I wouldn't put George Kittle in because he's more of a blocker.
But he can catch the football.
But I feel like he's more of a primary blocker. He is basically what he's the product of Gronk.
Right.
Because Gronk was an elite blocker and was hard to cover.
Well, yeah, he was freaking giant.
What his tight end is. And that's what George Kittle is. The only thing wrong with both of those guys is they can't stay healthy.
Right.
So it's so many great talents, and we could probably do it all time NFL HBCU list because I'm pretty sure we have our quarterback, Aaron McNair.
Yeah. No doubter.
Our running back will be Walter Payton from Jackson State.
No doubter about that either.
Our receiver, Jerry Rice.
Tight end, we have Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, Shannon our tight end. Jerry Rice went. I think Jerry Rice is SWAC.
Jerry Rice went to
Miss Valley. Yep. So SWAC. Valley is SWAC. Let me see. HBC wide receivers. I know it's another one. Jacoby Jones. Donald Driver.
He's up there.
Jacoby Jones went to. Oh
Michael
wow!
Strahan.
I'm gonna do this.
Michael Strahan went to Southern. Texas Southern.
Who?
Michael Strahan.
John Stallworth with the Alabama and Charlie Joyner with the Grambling. Jacoby Jones with the Lane.
Deacon Jones.
D2 school.
Deacon Jones went to Mississippi Valley State.
Right.
Mel Blount went to Southern. Doug Williams, Grambling State.
Yeah, Doug. So which one would you rather have, Doug Williams or Aaron McNair?
McNair.
So let's look at I'm about to find a list of all-time NFL players.
Robert Mathis went to Alabama A&M. Here, I got an NFL 100 from USA Today. Top NFL opinion by Donald Ware. Top 100 NFL players from HBCU programs.
So I think number one is Jerry Rice. Number one.
Jerry Rice is number one.
And
Jerry Rice is number one.
1, 2, and 3, I think could easily be debated.
Jerry Rice is number one from Mississippi Valley State. Number 2 is Walter Payton from Jackson State. Number 3 is Deacon Jones from South Carolina State and Mississippi Valley State. Linebacker for the Rams. Defensive end for the Rams. 4 is Willie Lanier from Morgan State. Linebacker for the Chiefs. 5 is Buck Buchanan from Grambling. That was before our time. Mel Blount from Southern.
Speaking of Southern, Aeneas Williams also went to Southern.
Marion Motley, fullback.
You're going to see a lot of these players from HBCUs are during that time period because this is when I think a lot of the black players had no other choice but to play HBCUs.
Yeah.
Willie Davis, Willie Brown. Let's look for some names that we probably know. Art Shell.
Yeah.
I didn't realize, and they don't have a team now, but UMES.
Richard Dent played for the
Lynn Barney went to Jackson.
Emmett Thomas, Harry Carson, Len Ford. Raphael Wright played for the Cowboys. Went to
Hold on, Roosevelt Brown.
Huh?
Roosevelt Brown. Hold on a second.
Michael Strahan went to Texas Southern.
Please send Mr. Brown a message real quick because I know he's the third.
Michael Strahan went to Texas Southern.
I'm gonna have to check on that because I'm gonna be so mad if that's his like grandfather or something. It was, Michael Strahan, Texas Southern, right? Shannon Sharp, John Stallworth.
Yep. Aeneas Williams
up here, like I made.
Bob Hayes, Cowboys, Florida A&M. Elvin Bethea.
Tusaw Jones, Tennessee State.
Yeah. Steve McNair, Alcorn State.
Mm-hmm. Doug Williams is up here.
Doug Williams, Grambling.
Robert Mathis, A&M.
Yeah. Donald Driver, Alcorn.
Right.
Roger Brown.
Roger Brown. Yeah, we know Roger Brown.
Yeah, we do. Nate Newton, Jimmy Smith, Jackson State, played for the Jaguars.
Hugh Douglas. I think I made Ernie Big Cat Ladd. We are wrestling all the time, so we know Big Cat Ernie Ladd. Went to Grambling.
Greg Lloyd, Antoine Bethea Howard.
Yep, I actually seen him in real life. Rasheem Mathis, Cookman.
Yeah.
Nick Collins played for the Packers.
Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, Tennessee State.
I do remember that.
Yancey Thigpen.
The name sounds familiar. What's Salem?
Yep.
Rich Cast,
Jacoby Jones, Lane.
Wait, because I didn't realize this. Rich Castle went to Jackson State.
Huh.
You know who that is?
Who?
That is Max Caster's father.
Oh. How about that?
So I did not realize that Max Caster's father went to Jackson State. Interesting.
Tariq Cohen, North Carolina A&T.
I don't want to hear his name. He was a headache.
And then Homer Jones is number 100, Texas Southern.
Teron Armstead, who's still playing right now with the Pine Bluff. But yeah, I didn't because Max did make a note of it last week that his father was in the NFL and won the Super Bowl with the Washington team that we know now was known as you know what. But I didn't realize his dad played at Jackson.
Yeah, MJF is not turning face. That's stupid.
Huh?
That's stupid. MJF is not turning face.
There's no way they're gonna do that.
No, that's stupid.
But that's all I got, dog. I need to get up out of here and I'm gonna just rest a bit. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we'll get up out of here. Peace, love, and Pop Tarts. Always remember to drink your water. We will see you all next week. Hopefully my voice will be a lot better, but I made it through.
Yeah.
And my voice is a lot better than it has been, so deuces.
Sliding it like a wet flow. Already fried from the get-go. Alligators look like